That's right, we're here in the beautiful city of Prague. We've left Germany and we arrived here last night. Now this area was once known as Czechoslovakia, but in 1993 it split and became the Czech Republic and then Slovakia. And Prague is the capital of the Czech Republic.
And in this video we're going to show you what you can do in a few days in Prague.
Now, interesting fact, most of these buildings you'll be seeing during this video, they were built back in the 1300s. And right behind me is the famous Astrological Clock. We'll try to get it on video chiming. This is the oldest astrological clock in the world that is still working. So in the square you'll find the famous Astrological Clock. This is the oldest astrological clock in the world. And people line up here every hour or so to hear the bells, and they're just starting to line up now. So one thing we notice is that Prague is a popular tourist destination. There are tons of groups, tourist groups walking around. So this is our beautiful VRBO. We're right off the Old Town Square. So one of the big things you can do when you come to Prague is just walk the streets. Take a look at the buildings, which were all built back in the 1300s, and just enjoy the natural beauty of the city. It really is a remarkable city. So we're going to go for a walk and see what we can see. We start our walk at the Old Town Square, where the astrological clock is that you just saw. From here we walk towards the famous Charles Bridge, and along the way we saw people getting married. So just keep walking, look at all the buildings. Now, if there's a specific place you want to go, use Google Maps because the streets are kind of confusing. They don't go in a grid pattern, especially because I guess the streets were created 600-700 years ago. And if you get hungry during your walk and like to eat outside, don't worry, Prague has you covered. But there are plenty of choices for outdoor seating, plenty of cafes, coffee shops. They're literally everywhere. And there are shops everywhere, really interesting shops. And off the main roads there are tons of little alleyways. Okay, and while you're here you got to try the old Czech chimney cakes. These are very popular, traditional Czech treat. Let's take a look inside. We're going to try one in a little bit. Now this shop was roasting the cakes on what appeared to be electric heat, but other shops we found roasted them on open coals. So what that is a oval cake, and down the middle they put whipped cream, ice cream, and must be super sweet. But we're going to try one before we leave here. Take it off. We asked for chocolate inside. Chocolate. And then put the ice cream in the middle. And put a little more chocolate. And a napkin, and we're good to go. Delicious.
Number 5?
So it's delicious. Probably I'm mispronouncing it, but it's called Trindalo. Something we don't know. I think it's like Trindalo.
Really good.
I'll put the name right below here. And again, everywhere you look, there's plenty of shops to browse. And plenty of restaurants to eat. And so far we found every place we've been to has accepted credit cards, which is a big improvement over Germany, where we were in Bavaria, where half the places only accepted cash. But here cards seem to be accepted. All right, so we're trying to find Charles Bridge. You can see how crowded the streets are getting. So it looks like the morning clouds are lifting and the sun's coming out. You have to really take your time to enjoy these streets and the architecture of these buildings. I think we're almost here. The famous Charles Bridge. Take a look at this. So this bridge was constructed back in 1300, and it's now a pedestrian zone, and super popular. You can see all the people that are here. There's all sorts of ornate statues. There's some statues, if you rub the toe, you get good luck. If you walk across the bridge to the other side, you'll find more medieval streets, shops, restaurants, the Prague Castle, and of course, more people. This city is alive with activity, I must say. After walking over Charles Bridge, we headed back to our starting point at the Old Town Square. So as we're wandering around, we're coming across these stalls that are selling Czech street food. Take a look at this. So those street food vendors that you just saw, they're located right off of the Old Town Square. So walking Prague, the Old Town, on your own is great, but we've also set up some organized tours through VRBO, and I'll put the link below. So tonight we're going to be doing a ghost tour, and tomorrow will be an all-day tour about the history of the city and also a ride on the river. So if you're interested in tours like that, check the link below and you can sign up. And as I said, tonight's tour is going to be a ghost tour, and the reason we're doing a ghost tour is that Prague is the most haunted city in Europe. That's what they say. Take a look. For about 90 minutes, our guide took us around the streets of Prague and told us about its historical, spooky past. Now that was a great tour, lots of history. If you want to take something like that and learn about history, ghosts and goblins, click the link below and sign up through VRBO. Did you like it?
Yeah, it was spooky.
It was good.
Okay, so another thing you can do when you visit Prague is take an historical tour. That's what we're doing today through VRBO. Link is below. This one also includes a boat ride and also a Czech lunch. So we're looking for our tour guide at the base of the Charles Bridge, and he supposedly has an orange umbrella. Let's see if we can find him. There it is, the orange umbrella. This was a 6-hour walking tour with stops, and fortunately the skies were clear. We began our tour by learning about the very interesting history of the Charles Bridge. We then moved on to the neighborhood of Lesser Town in Prague, where we saw the well-known John Lennon's Wall. This was followed by a trolley ride up to the Prague Castle, where we saw the changing of the guard. After walking around the castle grounds, we headed down and toured through Jewish Town, then headed over to the Old Town Square, where we enjoyed a traditional Czech lunch. Lunch was included with the tour, and it was delicious. After lunch, we learned about Old Town Square and its famous astrological clock. This was followed by a boat ride where we learned more about Prague's history. It was definitely a fun-packed 6-hour tour. And that's how to spend a few days in Prague. In the next video, we'll show you the best pubs in Prague. Until next time, safe travels.